welcome to my How I Stay Happy vlog. This is definitely the happiest and most content I have ever been in my life, and I'm just going to outlay some principles that I live by right now that really lends itself to that. So this isn't going to be health things, this isn't going to be diet, sleep, exercise. Obviously I do all those things and I aspire to improve all those things constantly, but this is more about behaviours and how I curate my environment. I should start this video with a disclaimer that these are what work for me and these are what are available to me. So obviously everyone's circumstances are different and everyone's preferences are different. I am in the very privileged position that I have control over my own schedule. I know that's not everyone, but I'm very lucky that I do have that, so that obviously makes curating my own environment a lot easier. So the first one is no unnecessary negativity. Obviously, it's unavoidable in life that certain negative things are going to happen, i.e. a loved one becoming unwell. I'm not talking about that. Things like that happen and you have to deal with them, and obviously you have to discuss them. I'm speaking about no unnecessary negativity. Avoiding negative people as much as possible, not discussing negative topics, avoiding negative media. So I do all of these things. Number one, media. I don't watch the news. The news is always negative. I avoid it like the plague. Number two, family. Now, this is a difficult one because I think that we often fall into the trap of feeling like we owe our family something, and I don't feel like that. I think it doesn't matter who they are, if it's a member of your family, if they are negative, if they are toxic, if they take from your life and don't add to it, then in my opinion, you don't owe them anything. You don't owe them your time, you don't owe them your affection, you don't have to do things for them. And the same goes with friends. You don't have to stay with the same friends that you had in primary school. Natural that you're going to organically outgrow some people. And when it's time to leave a friend group, if it's not serving you anymore, if it's making you unhappy, if it's making you stressed, again, if it's taking more from your life than giving to it, then just leave. You don't have to leave with a bang, you don't have to leave with a statement, you can just drift away. I think that's really, really important. We are taught as children, especially in our culture, that you need to always be polite and think about others. Sometimes you need to be selfish. So in this case, friends and family, if they don't serve you, if they don't reciprocate your efforts, if they don't make you happy, cut them off. And as I said, I don't watch any negative media, I don't consume any negative media. And another big one is I don't discuss negative topics. I think sometimes there's a tendency to fall back on negative things that are happening in the world as a point of conversation, and I will not engage in that type of conversation. I will shut it down and I will withdraw. There are a lot of bad things happening in the world and I can't affect most of them. I can't affect them, so why would I unnecessarily lower my mood or darken my thoughts by discussing them? So that's the first one, no negativity. Second one is something that me and Ava have implemented in our relationship. It's a couples review. So I was listening to a podcast a while ago and there was a CEO on it. She was talking about how her and her husband do a couples review every 30 days. I believe her husband was also a CEO. Their idea was we will regularly review our relationship the way we would audit our business. I have the questions here, but me and Ava actually endeavour to do it every week, and I cannot articulate to you how much of a benefit it has been to our relationship. We always come away feeling closer, feeling like more loving. It's always a weight off your chest, and I find that it is like therapy, and that sometimes I have went for therapy sessions and thought, I really don't need this today, I feel good, and I'm always glad that I went. Just speaking to someone about what's on your mind always feels like a weight lifted off your chest, and this is what the couples review is like. So I'll read some of the questions to you now. I would also like to say a brief disclaimer that this jumper makes me look like I have moobs, but I promise you I don't. The first question is, what's been the best part of the last 30 days? Next is, what's been the worst part of the last 30 days? Tell me one thing I can do differently to be a better partner. A stop, a start, or a continue. What has worried you the most in the last 30 days? What has given you the most pride in the last 30 days? And what are you most grateful for in the last 30 days? I cannot stress this enough. If you are in a relationship, I highly, highly, highly recommend that you implement this as part of your communication structure, because like I say, it has just brought us so much closer, and I'm so thankful for it as a practice. The next one is, I am organised. I am extremely organised. I write out a plan for the week every Sunday, and then I write out a plan for every day as well, always the night before. I know my tasks and I know the order I'm doing them in. Also, I will prep everything the night before, so I go to the gym early every morning. I put my gym clothes out the night before. All my meals are prepped the night before. There is no ambiguity about what my day might hold, because I know exactly what it's going to hold detail to detail, moment to moment. I love that. I know that's not for everyone. Some people like a more devil may care attitude, see how the day takes them, and that's fine. If that's for you, that's great. That doesn't make me feel good. Chaos, being unorganised, being late, anything like that triggers me, makes me unhappy, makes me feel stressed. I don't like it. So I am extremely organised. It makes me feel calm, it makes me feel zen, it makes me feel really, really happy. And that extends to as well the house. I have a very organised environment. I clean multiple times a week, everything is tidy, everything is in its place. Having an organised schedule and an organised environment just makes me feel at peace. I cannot stress how good it makes me feel. So that's the next one, being organised. Number 4 is kind of runs in parallel to that, and it's having a plan. So some of you might know, I've posted about it a lot recently, that I now have an online nutrition and training coach. You might say, why? I have lifted weights for 11 years, I know how to train, I know how to eat. So you can say, well, why didn't you just keep doing that yourself? Because the point is, I wanted to change my body, I wanted to have a world-class physique, and I wanted the weekly accountability, the objective feedback. I wanted a plan, I wanted tangible goals, and I wanted an expert on my side. So that is probably the biggest example right now in my life of having a plan. And I'm in constant communication with my coach about how we're progressing, if I'm hitting my targets, any difficulties I'm facing. I know that as long as I put the effort in, I am guaranteed to get the result I want. And that extends to savings, that extends to social media. I have a plan and I execute it on the daily. With the savings and with my body, they're different. If I can directly affect them, I can put in the inputs and I'm guaranteed the outputs. Social media, it's a bit different. Obviously, I can execute on the daily, but that grows when it grows. But the point is, I have a plan and I have committed to the act, and the outcome will take care of itself. Having a plan for me is really, really key. I don't just have some abstract dream that I hope happens. I say I have a goal and I have daily metrics that I have to hit to get towards that. I have a plan for the micro and for the macro. I need to know that I'm making tangible progress towards my goals, or I am not happy. As I say, it's a kind of parallel theme to being organised, but I need to track and I need to know that I'm making progress at all times. I heard Arnold Schwarzenegger say that a goal without a plan is just a dream, and I would definitely agree with that. So this one is having a plan. And finally, this one might seem a bit wishy-washy, airy-fairy. I certainly, a few months ago, would have called it airy-fairy, but it is to just attempt to be present moment to moment. Since I've been using the Waking Up app for say the past 3 months, I have really endeavoured to try and be more present moment to moment, make the most out of every moment. This is it, we're here, we're not getting a second chance. So several times a day, I'll just stop and check in with my body. What am I feeling? What am I hearing? The feeling of my breath in my lungs, just observing my thoughts. I'm human, I get distracted, I get absent-minded. Sometimes my mind wanders, sometimes negative thoughts occur. I don't judge them, I don't try and shut them out, I just observe them, I just let them be and then I let them go. And I really, really try and do that throughout the day. That also extends to, and this is a game changer for me, tasks that I don't necessarily want to do. Admin, the dishes, even though I actually quite enjoy doing the dishes, but say my shoelace gets in a knot, and usually I would just try and jerk it out as quickly as possible so I can move on. I stop, I say I'm going to give this time, I'm going to give this my full concentration. I am just going to lose myself in the act of this right now. Even if it is the most boring task, I will say I am here, I am in this moment right now, I'm not thinking about what's next, I'm giving this my full attention. This very moment I'm giving my full focus. Really, really can't stress enough how much better that has made me feel moment to moment. I feel calmer, I feel less stressed. I'm someone who generally feels in a rush, like I'm already behind. I'm constantly struggling to keep up. What's coming next? What's coming next? What's coming next? Now I don't do that. I focus on the task at hand, consult my planner, and I'll see what's next. I just try and be present, and as I say, I know that sounds a bit deep, but it has really been a strong contributing factor into my overall feeling of well-being. So that's it, guys. This was never going to be a long video. These were just 5 principles that I live by right now. As I say, this is the happiest I've ever been, this is the most content I've ever been, the most fulfilled I've ever been. Obviously there are external variables to that. I have the best partner in the world. She's my best friend, she is my other half in every single way. That's a huge factor. I have a wonderful family. I've got great friends. Ben is like a brother to me. I love him so much. I have really, really good people around about me. So there are external factors, but these 5 behaviours have, as I say, been a huge part of my feeling of well-being. So I wanted to pass them on in the hope that maybe you could implement some into your own life and see if you could take any positives from them. As always, I want to hear from you. Let me know what you think about these. Let me know if you include any of them in your own life and how that works out. And let me know any suggestions you have for future vlogs. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I'm so grateful, and I'll see you next time.